do you find wrestling or does wrestling find you?
A little bit of both. Yes, fast forward. I'm a social worker at a facility called St. Anne's in Los Angeles for pregnant and parenting teenagers.
Wow.
And, teenagers already are volatile, but you add in some pregnancy hormones, it's like,
Sure.
it's a battle royale every other night, And so we would watch wrestling in the rec room, and even though they say don't do this at home, we would emulate, not to the point of contact, but we'd cut promos in the hall, and if I was busy and my favorite character, my favorite worker was on the TV, the girls would call me and I'd run to watch, what they were doing. And it was a very fun bonding activity for the girls. For some reason, watching people be violent actually calmed them down. Ironic. So Tough Enough, MTV Tough Enough came out, and the second season, and my brother-in-law wanted to try out for it. And this is in the early days of the internet, and he didn't know how to download an application. What download is that? So because of where I worked and because I was familiar with computers and had my own office, he asked me to download the application. I said sure, and I downloaded, printed out his application, and I was like, I'm gonna print one out for myself. And so I did, read it, filled it out, sent in the tape they wanted, and they called me for an audition in Las Vegas. So I go out there and wait in the line. It was like 18 hours or so. It was 2 days, but total waiting in the line was like 18 hours. We had to wait in this line.
Yeah.
And I was right behind Kenny, Kenny King.
Wow.
Before Kenny King was Kenny King.
Yeah.
He was right in front of me, and we kind of bonded over that day. So when his name got called to be on the show, so happy. I was like, I gave him my luck. He won, he got picked because of me, because I'm so generous to give my aura and my winningness.
So this is season 2, the season John Morrison and Matt win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think, is it Leslie? Big girl, big tall black girl. Was it Leslie? I think her name was Leslie.
My Tough Enough history is not great.
Well, she went on to get a contract. Remember, she used to have a black leather, and she used to have 2 dudes that were in like chains, and she'd whip them and stuff. And it was like a dominatrix type. Okay, Google it.
So that was your first introduction to it. That
was my first introduction.
You had never taken a bump before.
I didn't even know what a bump was. They call, they get us all the contestants together, or potential contestants together in a room, and they have this ring in there, and they talk about the ring that's going to be set up that we're going to be in, and they start using this lingo. This is a no bump ring, so don't take any bumps, and and they're saying this. What's a bump? You know what I mean? Is somebody gonna come out and do like coke in the ring? I don't understand.
Right.
I'm from Hollywood. Bump means something different out here, sweetie. I'm like, and luckily Kenny was in front of me and let me know what that meant. And Shelly Martinez was there.
Oh, okay.
And I happened to come across her because she had a chain that said Vixen on it. And so I approached her about it and struck up a conversation. And she actually wasn't that nice to me in that meeting. And I almost jacked her for her Vixen necklace. And I'm glad I didn't, because later I ended up going to the school that
Oh, that's right. Yeah. By the way, I looked this up. You're right. Linda Miles and Jackie Gaeta won season 2.
Jackie Gaeta.
And I was going to season 3, which was John and Matt.
Okay. There you go. Yes, Jackie, tall girl. Nice. Very nice girl.
So you go there to the audition and you're probably thinking, man, I can crush this. This is for me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they told us to, at the beginning, initially, before we got out there, they said we had to, come up with a promo. I didn't know what a promo was, but I learned. And then we were gonna do some physical stuff in the ring. And then when we got there, they told us the physical stuff, and it was they told us we were gonna have to do a kip up, which I had to learn what that was. And so, like I said, this was an 18-hour process as far as the time we actually stood in the lines.
Yeah.
But it was over 2 days. So me, Kenny, a guy who kind of looked like a ripoff of The Rock, a girl who was former friends with Stacy Keibler but had fallen out and I guess was there to try to get a job so it'd be Frosty. But I don't know. She had some drama with Stacy Keibler. I don't know. Yeah, my mom had went with me and she had got all the tea from her. And we're in my hotel room because I made a trip of it. We stayed at the Caesar's Palace and I had a big suite. So we went up to my suite and we were all trying to learn how to do the kip up. And like I said, I was very athletic at the time. I could tumble and I was very fit at the time, even though I was still a big girl. And I learned how to do it. I did it more than a few times. I'm like, okay, I got it. It's hard on the abs, but all right, I have it. However, when we got in the ring, when it was time for you to audition,
yeah,
they have you do the physical stuff first. I mean, they had us rolling around for 30 seconds, and then we had to do some jumping jacks, and then blah blah blah, and we had to do the kip up last. So you're blown up.
Sure.
For those who don't know what blown up means, it means you're out of air and you can't catch your breath. So you're blown up, and then you have to do this very difficult move. And so by the time I had to do the kip up, I didn't impress anybody. It was like a wet fish out of water. And then we had to do the promo. I was proud of my promo because I grew up in acting, and I was out of my shell.
Yeah.
To be or not to be. And so I can't remember the whole promo, but I remember the last line was, because hell has no fury like a woman scorned. And I had went to the magic shop and got this book that had flame paper in it. And it was reading from my ode of hell has no fury like a woman scorned. And the fire came out the book. I closed it because I had read them, bitch. Okay. Library was closed. And I was proud of myself. And then it was crickets.
No way.
And all of the judges were we don't know what to do with this. And JR was okay, thank you, goodbye. And I was what? He was thank you, you can go. I was oh, wait, no, I'm not going anywhere. I just drove my raggedy ass Kia from LA through the mountains of Las Vegas to get here and spend my last check on a suite. I didn't put it all in because I knew I was about to be a millionaire. I'm not going anywhere till you ask me one or two questions. And I can't remember the first question JR asked me, but it was a snarky one. But then Bob Holly was there, bless his heart, and was no, I want to I find her interesting and I want to ask her some questions. And then so that engaged the rest of the judges, and we got to rapping and got to talking. And then JR, bless his heart at the time, because he was in a certain kind of thinking that make it hard out there for a pimp like me. He was I'm sorry, but I don't think a girl your size can ever make it in wrestling. You're too big to ever make it in wrestling. You would never make it.
Wow.
And I was what? And he was you would never make it in WWE. You're too big. He was gracious enough not to use the word fat, but I didn't think I was fat. I thought I was thick, honey, and I was. I'm fat now. But back then, honey, I was just thick. I had the build of like Megan Thee Stallion, I would say. Well, she has the build of me back then.
There it is.
You know, and thick and loving my body. And I was like agog. And but that was, ooh, if that man hadn't said that to me, because that was the fire. Remember, 200 bitches hated on me in high school, and I was like, my clap back is you gonna kneel because I'm gonna be your queen. My clap back is you gonna have to give me some reviews and rave and throw roses at me after I take my bow, bitches, okay?
Yeah.
My clap back is, I'm always gonna clap back. So JR said that to me on TV, national TV. I had to clap back. Thank you, Carl. We friends today. JR know I love him. We're all reconciled.
What was the first interaction with JR like years later? And did he even remember?
No. However, he had heard about it from interviews I had done. Sure, so other people had brung it up to him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But the first interaction, we were at CAC, Cauliflower Alley Club. And for those who aren't familiar with CAC, I encourage you to Google it, look it up, CAC, I think .org, Cauliflower Alley Club. It's called that because of the cauliflower ear that mixed martial artists get from, all the rubbing and stuff and all the keloids and stuff. I was this close to getting mine, but then I got scared. I was like, I want my ear on. Like, Now I kind of wish I had went ahead and did it, not put on the protective gear.
Oh, come on.
Because Sarah Del Rey, me and Sarah Del Rey were getting ours at the same time, but Sarah was like, I want mine. I'm getting mine. Sarah, if you ever see Sarah Del Rey, she got hers, honey. But anyway, we saw each other at CAC. We had a very warm, reception. It was kind of like, he was very proud, very happy that I approved him wrong. And not only that, oh Lord, a couple tears again, y'all. You're not gonna give me today's feelings. Because this is us till tomorrow. Season finale until tomorrow, y'all. Not only that, he advocated for my signing at WWE.
Oh wow.
Emotions.
Talk about full circle.
And Stone Cold and Mick Foley. Between the three of them, personally contacted Vince McMahon,
because they had seen your work.
It out on Twitter. I mean, like,
wow.
Vince.
Because they had seen your work in TNA?
Yes.
Wow.
They had seen my work in TNA. And but not only that, because WWE had contacted me once before, about a year and a half before, but there was like some kind of miscommunique, and then I went to TNA, and then so there was no more communicating. But what it was, every girl who was sending in tapes of their best matches to WWE, I was on all these tapes. So, I mean, because I never reached out to WWE. I never sent in a tape or anything. I had a plan of what I was going to do before I did that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be premature. I had a plan, but they called me before the part of me calling them had been implemented in my plan, honey. Because them girls was like, that was a good match. That's the best match I ever had. Let me send that to WWE. So every time WWE put in a tape, they see my ass on there. Hey, Fireball.